Now it's interesting, if you go into the phrase concordance of the Bible, in Genesis 6:2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful. Genesis 6:4, there were giants on the earth in those days and also afterwards, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, that they bore children to them. Job 1:6, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them. Job 2:1, again there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. Job 38:7, when the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. These are the references in the Old Testament about the sons of God. It is very clear from this that in all cases in the Old Testament, the term sons of God refers to angels or spiritual beings that reside in the third heaven. And this is very important to understand. Who are the sons of God then of Genesis 6? Well, if we look to the book of Enoch, which is written around 0 AD, I guess, or 1 AD, somewhere in there. There's a lot of argument over as to actually when it was written. It says, it happened after the sons of men had multiplied in those days, that daughters were born to them, elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, come, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children. Now the ancient Aramaic text actually reads watchers. Then they took wives, each choosing for himself, whom they began to approach, and with whom they cohabitated, teaching them sorcery, incantations, and a dividing of roots and trees, which most scholars claim was the teaching them of how to manufacture and make drugs or drug use. They have gone together to the daughters of men, have lain with them, have become polluted, and have discovered crimes to them. The women likewise have brought forth giants. Thus has the whole earth been filled with blood and with iniquity. Go tell the watchers of heaven, who have deserted the lofty sky and their holy everlasting station, who have polluted with women, and have done as the sons of men do, by taking to themselves wives, and who have been greatly corrupted on the earth. So you see, it's saying that these giants, or rather these sons of God, came down from their eternal holy station, which was in the third heaven. It's not in outer space, not in the stars and the galaxies, but rather from the third heaven that they came from. They're spiritual beings. They are not flesh and blood as you and I would think from the second heaven. Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty and holy heaven, which endures forever, and have lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, have taken to yourselves wives, have acted like the sons of the earth, and have begotten an impious offspring. You, being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourselves with women, have begotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men, and have done as those who are flesh and blood do. These, however, die and perish. Therefore have I given to them wives, that they might cohabit with them, that sons might be born of them, and that this might be transacted upon earth. But you, from the beginning, were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subject to death forever. Therefore I made not wise for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling is in heaven. And so we begin to see a picture here that these are actually spirit beings that are from the third heaven. And how many dimensions there are in the third heaven, we're not told. For Matthew, Jesus said, for when they shall rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels which are in heaven. Now, this heaven is not the heavens that we look up into the sky and see the galaxies, the stars, the multitude of star arrangements that are out there. Then Uriel said, "Here are the angels who cohabitated with women, appointed their leaders, and being numerous in appearance, made men profane, and caused them to err, so that they sacrificed to devils as to gods." Now the thing we're going to look at here is a statement, being made numerous in appearance. And because of it, they made men profane and caused them to err, so that they sacrificed to devils as to gods. This is a very, very interesting statement and ties directly to the UFO operations today. Numerous in appearance actually means taking on many different forms. In other words, they assume many different shapes. They appear as many different races. In other words, these sons of God, the angels from heaven who were spiritual, could manifest themselves in our time-space continuum here in any form they wanted. And by so doing, they led men astray and actually led them into worshiping devils. These beings were actually worshipped, and we know they were because we have the ancient writings of the Egyptians, of India, of practically every nation in the world, and they called them gods and actually worshipped them.